And we are live. Hello, everybody. So, what's going on? First, yes, it's always important to be first. Being first is very critical in life. So, good job, potentially criminal. I always appreciate you're one of the first people on. It's always a good sign. Always a good sign. Mike L. Here. Um, I may have to look into that, but no, I'm happy being a Cardinal. I'm okay being like a guy step below. I'm not big on the taking charge things there. I let other people run the show. Or let them think they run the show. Uh, for him, how are you doing? DeSantis suspend state attorney. Yeah, I will bring that up. Javi T, good vibes. Marco Polo, thank you. Critter, how are you doing? Matthew, how are you doing? Thanks again for coming out. I always appreciate it when you're here. I know it's, you know, in the wee hours and over in merry old England. And then Patricia, how are you doing? Thank you again for being a member as well. I really appreciate it. So yeah, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a good week so far. We're gonna be talking about some people that haven't had a good week this week, so we shall see. A-dubs, hello. Oh, sorry, I'm listening myself. So yeah, we got a couple of things here. We got Brittney Griner goes to the Gulag. I know some people, if you weren't aware, Alex Jones, there was a verdict in his case. We'll cover that in a minute. Ruth, hello. The official Doodle Bob. Well, I hope there aren't black market versions of you out there. And I was gonna say, what did that one person? Yes, Patricia Bradshaw, member for 2 months now. Thank you so much, Patricia. I really appreciate it. Ginger, hello. How are you doing? Garbage plate. I can tell you're from the Rochester area. Alex Jones trial's a total sham. Yeah, it is. But for right now, that's all he can do is deal with it. Stormcrow, hey, how you doing? Yeah. So somebody brought up when I put up, the notice for tonight. They brought up the whole idea of I'm gonna try to see if I can find this again. What did this person want me to? They want to talk about. Um. Oh, somebody wanted Chili DeCastro arrested for felony weapon possession. He is not. For the most part, he's not breaking most state laws. And he's not a felon, so um, that's an issue. And also, the bench warrant for Ohio is for a misdemeanor case. Nobody's going to extradite or execute a warrant from another state like that. If it was a felony warrant, sure, but he's just going to get caught till he shows up in Ohio. Nothing's going to happen. Elaine, hello. Graham, hello. So I just thought I'd clear that up. Yeah, there's nothing that really can happen unless he gets in trouble somewhere else. So sadly, that means he will escape man's justice for a little while longer. But on the positive side, he's probably going to do more cringy stuff, which we'll cover. Uncle Bubba, how you doing? Nero, hello. 32 people. Damn. Oh, we'll cover that. I'll put that on the list too. Won't put that on the list. Oh. So we'll definitely take a look at that one. I just put it on the list for everybody. Wrestler Town, how you doing? Okay, so I guess we'll get started. The biggest news around is with the Frogman. For a while on YouTube was a man's name you couldn't say. Um, Alex Jones. If you guys weren't aware, he was going through trial involving defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress over allegedly claiming that Sandy Hook didn't happen and it was causing parents in that case to be big, mad, big, sad. So they sued him, seeking $150 million. As much as I'd like to say things weren't done right, and I think Nate Brody brought it up earlier. I was listening to him while I was driving around between court. Um, you know, at some point it sounds like Alex Jones is being crazy because everybody's against him. But to be fair, Alex Jones has been blacklisted from basically all media. He was ran out of popular culture. He can't go on anything. He had to set up his own stuff. So yeah, kind of everybody is out to get him in a way. So is it really that outlandish that, some of these judges are jerking him around too? I don't know, but it is something to think about. So yes, he went on trial. It was for the penalty for the penalty phase, in the sense of, are there damages to be awarded? In civil trials, you will have the actual liability part, and then there are times where you have to then have further deliberation about what type of damages and how much damages. And that's where we were for Alex Jones. The judge awarded the Sandy Hook parents default. I think it was nonsense, whatever. Yeah, I think the judge, I don't think he was given a fair shake there, but you know what? I can't do anything about it. It sucks. It is what it is. Yeah, there's not a whole lot we can do about it. Now, we can talk about what happened. The family was awarded $4 million, which was way, way less than what the families were looking for. But hi Divinity, how you doing? Hey Melissa, Uncle Bubba, how are you doing? Thank you again for being a member. I always appreciate it. Alpha Fox, how you doing? So yeah, the parents were awarded $4 million, but that's not all. That is the first step. There is far more to go, sadly, for Alex Jones. And the jury 10-2, which that's all it takes in a civil trial. Civil trials generally don't need unanimous verdicts. Although usually you might not get 12 people in a civil trial. That depends on state to state. In Tejas, he got 12. So he's found liable for $4.1 million. He also owes about $1.5 million in sanctions, so he's going to pay $5.6 million. And those sanctions are fines and penalties imposed by the court for alleged discovery violations. So as you guys can see here, he, falsely claiming it. We'll leave that alone. So he had the 2-week trial, and basically it's turned into a public embarrassment and humiliation of Alex Jones, in addition to being a kangaroo trial. So there were already compensatory damages. Now we're into the punitive damages phase, and this is where the second part is, guys. And he's not out of the woods. The jury is going to consider punitive damages, and punitive damages are: does your conduct warrant punishment? Was it egregious? Do we need to make an example, or were you just such a piece of shit? We need to punish you for that. I have a feeling if they awarded $4 million, they're probably going to award something out of that to him, but we'll see. They do need 10 people, so if they don't have 10, I believe the damages will not be awarded. But yes, they voted 10-2 in compensatory damages. There could be larger punitive damages. That's not at all abnormal that the punitive damages become higher, because those aren't as limited by law. Compensatory damages are limited generally, but punitive ones, there's usually not caps on them. And I don't know about Texas, so there might not be a cap, and they might stroke them for $100 million. So the Frogman is not out of it yet. So we shall see. On top of that, though, the way his attorneys handled stuff, the way his attorneys handled it, guys, that is not how attorneys should do it. Giving the other side all the goods and then not stopping anything about it. Yeah. His attorneys were bad, unless they're like trying to shoot the moon here and let his malpractice insurance cover it. Because at the civil level, there is no ineffective assistance of counsel. If your counsel screws up, that's your fault. You hired him. So we shall see what happens. But yeah, the judge did him dirty. Yeah, I don't like how she handled all that. Uh they made a movie of it. Well, they're working on making a movie about it. Yeah. Um they definitely are. Yeah, so um the biggest thing, Nero, is basically once again, this is going to come back to fuck Alex Jones. You have one of these too. Cell phone. Cell phone. Everything in a cell phone they provided to the plaintiff. Generally, in a civil case, um, if you provide, and sometimes this will happen in discovery, which is part of the exchange of information, you may provide things that are protected by attorney-client privilege or are privileged and protected in another way. If the other attorney receives a copy of something like that, so for example, if Kurt and I are attorneys on opposing sides of a lawsuit, and Kurt sends me all of his clients' emails, but in those emails are stuff between Kurt and his attorney. That's attorney-client information, and it's privileged. I'm not allowed to see it. Part of that is as once I realize that I have it, I need to notify Kurt and say, "Hey, you sent me this. Is that meant to be sent to me?" Because I have an obligation to clarify that. Now, Kurt has an obligation to immediately turn around and say, "Yes, you are not supposed to have that. Please destroy those emails, or we'll provide you a brand new copy with everything removed." Now, I can't use that information I learned out of that. In Alex Jones's case, his attorneys were notified, "Hey, you sent us privileged information," and his attorney said, "Meh." All they said was, "Please disregard." That's not enough. You have to say, "Wait, no, that's not meant for you. Do not give that up." Well, instead, they didn't say anything. So at that point, it's deemed usable. So Alex Jones got on the stand, and his attorneys never told him, "Hey, these guys have a copy of everything you've said the past 2 years. Watch yourself." They never said that to him. I mean, that's even worse. They left their client out there to get smoked like that. They strung him along. Um, when you, and the bigger problem is when you fuck up as an attorney, you have to let your client know. If you don't, um, yeah, that is a sanctionable issue. Because remember, it's your client's case. It is not yours as an attorney. You may be running it, but it's theirs at the end of the day. So I think Jones's attorney is going to have some malpractice issues. Now, I kind of have a conspiracy theory that his attorney is, maybe they're trying to turn this into a situation of you need to hold on one second. Um hold on one second. Um so yeah, that's going to happen for him. His attorneys did a horrible job. Um and he's paying the price for that. Uh his attorneys let a lot of shit go. I think they should have been objecting to and opposing, but once again, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to turn out for him. Uncivil did the math and came up with another 4 million max in punitive damages. If that's the case, that's a good day for Alex Jones. Under $10 million and you get out of this one, good. The problem is, Alex Jones has similar issues in his other court cases in Connecticut and the other ones that are open. Well, all this information that was gleaned by the plaintiff, it's now their property. So what can they do with it? They can go find the attorneys in the Connecticut lawsuit that's facing Alex Jones and say, "Hey guys, here you go." In addition to that, all of Alex Jones's testimony can be used because it's sworn stuff under oath. Did you say this? Did you say that? Did you lie? In addition to that, supposedly the January 6th committee now wants copies of that stuff, and the plaintiffs are allowed to give it away if they want to. Apparently, other law enforcement organizations are asking for it, particularly relating to January 6th. They can give it away if they want to. It's entirely up to them. And even if they refuse, those guys will probably get subpoenas for it. So, yeah, yeah, it's a good day a little bit, but it's still not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a good day at all. I think it's a bad day. It's could have been a lot worse, but all right, I guess. So yeah. Anyways, Godspeed, Alex. I think you're gonna need it, and I hope it really is about $4 million. Hello, Hellcat. How are you doing? Um, all where did I see you? Yeah, Alex Jones and the canary in the coal mine. He was the first one they went after, and they completely what they did to him was dirty. And yeah, he's the easiest guy to go after. He's the most unpopular, and it won't stop here. I do think one of the jurors, because the jurors are allowed to ask questions with when the testimony is going on. Um, they said, "Well, wouldn't this apply to COVID stuff?" And I think that was a juror asking in a way that was supportive of Alex Jones. And yeah, if as Robert Barnes said, if you hold an opinion that's different than the official narratives, people could claim it you hurt them with it, and now they're going to go after you. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of issues. It's not going to end here. Um, yeah, that's really what happened, Nero. Hello. Um, yeah, their lawyers sank him. Yep, they did not help him at all today or the past couple of days. Um, yeah, yes. Alex Jones has been actually very good at things. I mean, if you want to compare him to like CNN or even Fox News, he gets a lot of things right. And if I think she on Head, she has the Alex Jones's right jar. It's got a lot of nickels in it, a lot of coins in it. And yes, if you had an Alex Jones's right jar, there are a lot of coins in that jar, probably. Or there should be. Um, Sue, hello. Thanks for the stream. I've been watching his trial, and I was shocked yesterday what came out about the leak stuff. Yeah, yeah, it's blows my mind. I don't know what the hell his legal team is doing. Oh, Mitro, there's a new member. Mitro or Mitro. Um, oh, Uncle Bubba gifting out some memberships. Thank you very much. 5 of them. Looks like Divinity. Well, Matthew, you got one, but you got a wrench. HM, Michael, and Jim. So congratulations, guys. You got guys got memberships. Now I really got to start working on stuff. Now I got a lot of you guys to worry about. um, let's see here. Where does this go through? Um, yeah, his lawyer said there was like nothing was happening, and I don't get it. It's so weird. Um, it's very very weird. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what their game plan is. I really don't, and it makes me wonder what's going on. But like I said, there's no ineffective assistance to counsel. He hired these guys, so it's for him. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully he can turn it around on the appeal because that's the only thing left he can do at this point. Roxy, how are you doing? Um, oh, okay. Something from Chaucer. Remember, if you to get a gifted membership, you have to click on it and allow to gifted memberships per the channel. Yes, YouTube is dumb in that regard. Oh, well, thank you for being able to come by live for the first time. Appreciate your support. Um, I think that lawyer will never work again. I wonder if Alex has fired him yet. Um, he can't, not yet, Sue. There's still phase 2 of the damages left to go. So, not yet. And the fact that he didn't like beat that guy in the hallway, I don't know what's going on. It's weird. This whole case is weird from top to bottom, stem to stern. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know. It's so fucking weird, and it doesn't make any sense what he's doing. Um. So. Uh. Oh, I got an email I need to answer. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. I got to answer this real quick. This is kind of an important one. Sorry, guys. So, the big question is, should he appeal? That's something a Texas appellate attorney is going to have to answer because it's not like a criminal case where if there's a reversal, you're now precluded from claims. Now, an appeals court might say, wow, the plaintiff's attorneys were sketchy and playing dirty pool, so they get punished too. I don't know. You're going to have to, that requires intensive discussion from very specialized people. And I mean, you would very expert counsel on Texas appellate law is the only thing I would say there. Um, on Dr. Mimo, yeah, that's the issue. Is apparently with Austin in Texas, he's going to be appealing in the Austin area, so that's not going to be receptive to him. But there's always the Texas Supreme Court, which is going to be discretionary. Pretty much every state Supreme Court is discretionary review, meaning they don't have to take it. Which, if you're thinking, wow, that sounds like the U.S. Supreme Court, you're correct. Um, you know, it's very hard to get on the dockets of your state Supreme Courts anyway. Pretty much the only guaranteed way is death penalty cases. Um, but yeah, I hope somebody straightens it out. So we shall see what happens to him. We shall see. Um, okay. So that's oh guys, we're gonna be nice to each other. We're gonna be nice. Um we're gonna be nice. We're gonna move on to something else now. We're gonna move on to another topic. This is one Brittney Griner, the basketball player. Well, she actually had a really bad day. Um, and if you guys aren't aware of her, she is the basketball player who decided to take a bunch of marijuana vapes, basically dabs, the marijuana hash oil, into Russia. Well, that's drug smuggling and drug trafficking. And in Russia, that's a very serious offense. Thankfully, she didn't go to somewhere like Malaysia, I believe even Indonesia and a couple other places. I think actually maybe in Thailand still, where you get the death penalty for that. So it could be a lot worse, but she was convicted and sentenced, I believe yesterday, or was it actually today? Oh yeah, it was today, to 9 years. Now, well, I mean, what do you guys want to know? Because, yeah, it's not going to be good for her. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but as far as prisons go, the Russian prison system is not very good. Just like many things involving Russia, um, it's not very good. Um, this is Brittney Griner. If you have not seen her before, what? Um, Oh, Kathy, if I didn't say hello or hello, how are you doing? Um, yeah, she effed around and found out. Yes, she did. Um, yes, 7-Eleven, how are you doing? Good to see you. Made it to the show. um, yes, it's not her first time being there. She's been there for quite a few seasons. She plays in the off season for the WNBA. She's been playing in the Russian women's leagues. She played for Yekaterinburg, which is a city in central Russia by the Urals. Um, I think it'd be funny. You could point out she's like, oh, she's taking money from Russian oligarchs. But she, yeah, that's how it goes. I mean, it sucks, and I wish she wouldn't. I don't like seeing, you know, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Russian prisons are awful, but I mean, come on, man. You don't go to foreign countries and do illegal stuff. And it's not like she didn't know it. And yes, has she become a political pawn? Yes. Does that make her unlucky? Yes. But I mean, shit happens, man. If you didn't bring drugs in, they would have picked on someone else. So, um, she was in a cage while the lawyers were talking. Yeah, and that's typical. That's not abnormal for the Russian justice system. You sit inside like a little cage like that. That's actually common in a lot of places. That's obviously here in America, we'd be like, wow, that's really kind of like goes against your rights and leaves an impression you're a bad guy, and that's very prejudicial. Yeah, that's not something you enjoy in the rest of the world. That's a very common way to do stuff. Um, so once again, be very careful about where you get in trouble. Um, A-Dubs. With her in the gulag, who will demonstrate layups to tens of fans for the next 10 years. Yeah, I know. That's it though. She apparently was pretty good for the WNBA. So um 7-Eleven, Jesus, I'm not clicking on that one. Um yeah, she pulled a real dumb move. She did. She did. Um um Oh, Chris, I'll bring this up real quick. Yeah, I think Joe Rogan's staying away from Alex Jones. But I think Joe Rogan and Alex Jones are really good friends. I think Joe Rogan's trying to help Alex Jones out by not getting drug into it. I think he's just watching out for his buddy. Um, yeah, don't take drugs in another country. You won't have this problem. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Yep. Um, yeah. Um, what are you guys? Hold on. You guys jumped ahead here real quick. America's plexiglass boxes. Yeah. But I mean, you get to sit. Yes, like the way trials are set up right now. Yes, but in America, you sit at the table. You're not off to the side like that. That's um, Brittney Stolitz. Jeez. Ooh, that's a good one. Yes, the the layup archipelago. Maybe that. Ah! Oh God, I just came on. That's good. The layup archipelago. Um. So. Oh, clumsy. I always love that. Hello, fellow randos. Yeah, we can talk about Chris Chan a little bit. There's not a ton of updates. Um, yeah, we could bring that up though. We'll get to him in a bit. If I don't before the end of the night, spam it in there and I'll see it. Um, yeah, too bad. Where's law clips when you need them? Law nerd to get that one going. Um, why would you go there now? Well, she was there before. She was there early on during like early February before everything kicked off and the tensions rise and lower. I mean, I don't fault her for that. She was under contract and she's been there a bunch of times before. So, um, um, she said her rights. Well, she does have human rights. I mean, she does have human rights. And believe it or not, I actually believe that everybody around the world has constant, like the rights we acknowledge, here in America are the rights everyone around the world has. Everyone around the world has a God-given right to free speech, has the right to bear arms, has the right to be free from unreasonable searches and seizures, has the right to be not to compelled to testify against themselves. They have the right to be free from cruel, unusual punishment. That's a universal right. So, um, uh, yeah, they're not. If you guys have never watched the videos of how Russian police do stuff, they are not very nice at all. They are not nice at all. We may look at something from them in a minute, but yeah, she's not having a good day now. Will she be released? I don't know. Could she? The I fine guys, we can have that discussion another night. I'll need some apple juice for that one. A lot of apple juice. Um, so I'll try telling that to Trudeau. Well, Fidel's son's a special case. Um, oh, we're done with the WNBA jokes. Yeah, I know. I always forget illegal contraband in my bags when I'm running around her. She said she was in a hurry. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Um, you know, good for her. Now, there are discussions about possible like switches of political prisoners. And the guy who's been proposed in Brittney's case, well, as much as I'd like to see her released, is this guy. And it's his name is Victor Bout. Um, if you have seen the movie Lord of War, starring Nicolas Cage, um, that's the guy this movie was done on. He was one of the most prolific arms traffickers in, as Jeremy Clarkson would say, in the world. In the world. Yes, yeah, Marco Polo, he's right. He's got a monster stash. Yes. He is the guy they based the movie Lord of War off of. If you ever want to learn about some cool cowboy stuff, this guy's done all kinds of crazy crap throughout the 80s and 90s supplying weapons. In fact, I mean, a lot of the stories out of Lord of War are kind of taken from stuff he did. This guy is just an absolute cowboy. And the funny thing is, he's in a U.S. prison for conspiring to kill U.S. citizens, but a lot of what he did was on behalf of causes supported by the United States government. So he was arming U.S. supported groups. Yeah, isn't that funny? And then they throw you in prison. Good job, America. And it's a good job by the U.S. government. Um, that's a beautiful mustache. This mustache game is strong. I'll let that slide. I'm not going to ban you for that. Thought about it though. Um, yes, he's known as the Merchant of Death. Um, yes, and that's the problem. Like we're thinking about like this guy, like right here, Victor Bout. We're gonna like trade him for Brittney Griner. I mean, Jesus Christ, that's like trading. It's like trading me for Osama bin Laden. Like, come on, you can't do that. Um, yeah, one time he was one of the most dangerous men on the planet. He is a bad dude, but I guarantee this much: I would love to. He'd be cool to hang out with and drink and do some cool stuff with. He's probably got the connect on everything. Um, oh, actually, yeah, I think he was involved in helping Century Arms get the hookup way back in the day. Not their current inventory, but yeah, that's kind of what got them running. I'm pretty sure he was involved in that. Um, U.S. stabbing someone in the back. I'm shocked. I tell you. Yes, I know it's hard to believe we would do that to people, but yes, Yes, he was in Thailand and then he got transferred. He's in the Florence Supermax. He is currently serving a 25-year prison sentence. Um, where does it show where he's? Um, oh yes, I always love this part about it because this is part of his story. Yes, he always denied selling weapons and claimed that he was flying flowers and frozen chickens to every war zone he was going to help people. Um, but yes, he was captured in 2008 as part of a DEA sting. And oh yeah, well they're showing Brittney Griner getting carried to prison, but damn, she is tall. Or those Russians are very short. I'm not sure, but either way, the camera angle makes her look like a monster. I wish I was that tall. Um, yes. So in 2011, he was convicted of prison. Oh, he's in Marion. Oh, I figured he was at Supermax. But anyways, he's doing 25-year sentence. Um, now why would the Russians ask for him back? Well, the main reason is, you know, rewards and loyalty that we come back for you. We take care of you. If you get sent away, we'll do what we can to get you back. So I could see that trading him for Snowden. That's a trade. Um, it's not a fair trade unless Osama starts live streaming. Well, he might. I mean, back in the day, he was doing like the closest thing where he did all his videos. So, you know, he might. You never know. I trust him more than U.S. policymakers. Okay, I don't think I disagree there. Yes. Um, Robert Chalk, he'd be able to get me that fully armed hind I've always wanted. Yeah, get the DACA. um, can he get missile batteries? I mean, I bet if you got him out and he got his contacts going again, yeah, probably. It's going to be harder though because there's less and less Cold War Russian surplus running around the world. But I guarantee you, he could help you figure that out. I think 25 years was the statutory max or the statutory provision of his sentence. He'll get out undeaded. Um, you guys are horrible. Jeez. He is. Yes, Victor Bout is unbreaded. Yes, he's a very unbreaded guy. Um, yeah, he's got all the hookups you want. He Snowden alone. Snowden isn't technically a prisoner there yet. Yeah, but it's not like he can just go anywhere. I don't think he has a passport, so it's not like he can leave. Um, looks like Sam Hyde. He just can't keep getting away with this. Um, hello, Mark. How you doing? Um, uh, yeah, that's probably not going to help her much in Russia with public sympathy, but you know what the public wants. This isn't in their hands anyway. This isn't public outcry demanding her prosecution. This is the government doing it to fuck with her and rubbing in the faces of the US because they saw how much this gets for her. So, Brittney, okay, well, not the same Brittney. Okay, I was about to say Brittney Griner's, watching the stream from Russia, Zdravitsya, yeah, Gorio Paruski, Vigovorice Paruski. Well, you better learn. I hope you do know it. Um, can you get me a much she can tell? Oh, jeez. Um, Carlos, hi, how are you doing? Um, yeah, I know that Russian wasn't very good, but that's kind of what I know. I know Suka and Bliat. So, no, that I don't think you're right with that. The Russians are mad that she said she was wrongfully detained. They'd be more willing if we admit she was fairly charged. I don't think so. That's not how they operate. This is about embarrassing the United States. And if they can get Victor Bout or whoever they want, That's the game. This is not about the Russians are really offended this woman did it. They could care less. They let all kinds of shit get trafficked in and out. It's a gangster government. So that's not the problem. The problem is she's an American and they can use that. So, um, yes, I'm a Russian bot confirmed. Oh, no, I did not see a moment of silence. But hey, I understand. You know what, though? That's their friend. That's like somebody they care about, and that's them. So, if they want to have their moment of silence, that's cool. Yeah, you haven't found anybody who can get you a crate of AS Vals? If you do, let me know because I want one of those. Um, do I think they're gonna do it? I mean, it's the US government, and considering who's in charge, that's a very real possibility. It wouldn't surprise me. Um, so does not surprise me. But anyways, Brittney, I hope you did something stupid, but I hope you get out because that's no place for anybody to be. Not even most of the Russians that are there. Um, so I know it's a trial some of you guys were covering and watching along with was Michael Amiott. He was the guy up here in Euclid, Ohio, outside of Cleveland. He was convicted. So uh, so he is currently been convicted of assault. Now, is there going to be any federal case for this? Probably not. Um, hold on. What did I miss here? Um, Russia has not yet responded. I know, but they're probably going to make some sort of demand. Um, some very patrician choices in firearms. Hey, if you don't want an asphalt, those things are so cool. It's a Venturas with full auto and one you can put different crap on. So why would you not want it? Um, Jesus Christ, you guys are just brutal tonight. Oof. Um, so, um, yeah. So Michael Amiott was convicted last Friday, the day after we talked about him. He was convicted of assault. What the? Why will you not work? There we go. Okay. Yeah, so he was found guilty. What? Oh my god. Anyway, if you guys we watched the video, I don't want to we're not going to rewatch it now. I'm not going to I'm just going to talk about it. He's accused of assaulting a guy at a traffic stop and I know we talked about it last week. Yeah, it wasn't very good. That was bad. There was no excuse for what he did, especially at the end where he's just going UFC style in the guy's face. So, good conviction. Somebody was asking, are the feds going to pick up their cases now? I mean, they could. He's always subject to that, but I doubt it's going to happen. Um, but then again, I thought what was going to happen for in this case, the feds were never going to do it. Was in the Breonna Taylor case. This was actually very interesting to see happen. Um, so if you guys remember Breonna Taylor, she was She was the target of a search warrant in Louisville, Kentucky a couple years ago. The police showed up basically in the middle of the night, started thumping on the door. It's not really sure who identified themselves or what happened, but her boyfriend at the time grabbed up a pistol. And when the police tried coming in, there was a shot. Okay, well, then the police started shooting back. And in the crossfire, one of the cops got hit, and then Breonna Taylor died. There was only initially one officer charged, with the resulting In the aftermath, only one cop was charged. His name was Brett Hankinson. And his charges come from, and we're going to bring up a picture of him. He was charged with recklessly discharging his firearm into the apartment building where Breonna lived. And this is from back in March. I know we covered it then, but I will be covering it now. So what did he do? Well, he pulled out his pistol, and once Brianna's boyfriend started shooting, he just basically went like this on the outside of the building and just went like boom, 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 and just shot the entire apartment up. Well, those bullets went into another apartment and almost killed a family of 3. So he stood trial for felony endangering with a firearm. He got acquitted, which I think is bullshit. He should have been charged and convicted, but didn't happen. That said, though, now the Department of Justice has come involved, and they went after the people who put the warrant together. And also Hankinson. They've gone after the people involved in that, which isn't bad. I think that's proper. If this warrant really was bullshit and it was wrong from the start, that's fine. They should go after him. I will say there are some things though in Brianna's, favor or against Brianna that don't look good. She had made for a while had a pretty shitty decision in having a boyfriend. Her boyfriend was a target of a massive drug investigation, and she had been involved with him. She had shown up to jail and talked to him and was kind of running messages and doing stuff. Um, that said, it looks like Brianna had gotten on the right path and ditched that loser, but it sounds like it was still fairly recent, so the cops thought she was still involved. But if the FBI thinks that they falsified the warrant, then by all means, I hope they're getting after, because it is not the first time cops have ever lied on a warrant. Personal experience as well. I've seen warrants where I know the cops have lied and almost able to prove it. So, and there are warrants executed every day in America where the cops have lied. So, um, oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta. Yes, she is very tall. She must be very useful in that labor camp. She can move much coal. Yes, comrade. Um, Daniel, yeah, how things are going well in Van Wert. Um, uh, so while you guys are, well, once again, 7-Eleven, that's part of the whole thing where this is something that happened with Breonna Taylor. Yes, one of her car was used, and it's by the boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, whoever it was she was trusting. Yes, she was involved. She was neck deep in some shit for a while. That's not, I don't disagree with that. This time around, though, it was solely about drugs. But yeah, she had been involved in a lot of bad things. She had, I mean, pretty bad, pretty bad. It wasn't good. But she got clear of it. And I'm not going to believe the DOJ just because they said they falsified it, but they might have. I mean, some of it didn't make any sense. The way they served that warrant, the time they did it, how long it actually been since they surveilled it. Because she had gotten out of the game, it looked like, for a while. Now, in the defense of the officers, nobody actually searched the house for drugs. Once the shooting happened, it stopped. It was an active crime scene, and then there was no more. The narcotics cops weren't allowed to go in later. So who knows if there are actually drugs in the house? And she was still trying to be a trap queen. But for a while, she was doing some real gangster stuff. Um, yes, Hankinson was acquitted, and um, I don't think the prosecutor was garbage as much as the people were trying to say, like, people were like, "Oh, the Tim Blue Line, we love cops." I think that's what happened there. Um, yeah, that one cop being on Tim Pool. It's like, oh, 30 seconds in the dark is so scary. It's like, motherfucker, you ran up in someone's house and you got shot for it. Deal with it. I thought that I didn't even bother watching that one. That one was bullshit. I ain't watching that one. I ain't reading that guy's fucking book. You know. Um It was Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, but he had the notice he never got charged for anything. Why? Because they realized, wow, yeah, we probably didn't announce ourselves, and you have the right to defend yourself against intruders. These guys happen to not identify themselves well, so you get shot for that. Um, no, Chaucer, she didn't trade. You didn't trade one loser for another one. Um, this guy defended her. So yes, I know cops lie. Yes, you don't say. Um, yeah, Kyle Meyer, that is a very good one. Yes, he had basketball shorts on. Um, not making a verdict isn't this double jeopardy. No, no, it's not double jeopardy. They are sovereign entities, the state of Kentucky and the federal government. But also remember, these people were not charged in Kentucky. The only one person stood trial, Brett Hankison. Everybody else was never charged. No one else in the Louisville Police Department was ever charged for this case. So it's not even a double jeopardy issue. Um, the Breonna Taylor case is a huge cluster, but where's the crime? I mean, AD, the one detective stood outside and stood in front of a window with curtains drawn across and just started shooting randomly into the house. I mean, that's pretty I mean, if we're gonna talk about things on the scale of sorry, I forgot to bring it up. AD, sorry. $5 in super chat. Thank you for your support. That's the crime. You don't just randomly get to discharge your firearm into an apartment building and then say, oops, sorry, I was trying to help people. I mean, he almost killed other people who were minding their own business sleeping. You don't get to Helen Keller your way around with a gun. So, I think it's he was validly charged. And if it turns out these guys did lie and did fuck around on a search warrant, they should be fully prosecuted. Now, do I trust the DOJ and the FBI right off the bat? No. I want to see it. I want to see the proof. So I don't believe that yet. But they might have a case for it. Um uh oh, I'll say moose and squirrel. Moose and squirrel. I don't think they planted the body in the trunk. I think she was, like I said, I think she was involved in some really bad shit and got around it because her new boyfriend wasn't a bad dude. Was actually a normal citizen. That's not clear how that happened. Where her body was and where he shot from, I think don't show that to be the case, but she stood in the middle of the hallway and he was taking cover, so she just caught a bunch of strays. You bother watching Dim Fool in general? Not sure what. You lost me there. Um, yeah, he was charged very quickly, but is dropped because they realized, okay, yeah, he actually didn't do anything wrong. He fully was legally doing what he had a right to do. Yeah, sometimes the cops, yeah, they try to surprise the wrong people, and yeah, bad guys will say police, police when they come in too. Um, actually, yes, someone I know sent that to me on TikTok. So yes, I saw that one. We can cover that. Um, really hate how double jeopardy is applied. Um, well, like I said, once again, it's not a double jeopardy issue. Mookie. Okay, well, I've got another cop that got shot during the raid. This is personal to me. Well, thank you. And if you have anything else you want to say, by all means, put it in there. Love to hear from you about it. Um, no, no, he didn't use her as a shield. Um, Yeah, no, okay, and that's the one thing I will say, guys. It is clear that Brett Hankinson's weapon did not cause Breonna Taylor's death. He was like Breonna Taylor's like way down the hall. Hankinson was shooting this way across the apartment, nowhere near her. So he never uh none of his projectiles were they found the projectiles he fired. None of them are the ones that struck Breonna. Um oh yeah, she wasn't sleeping. She was standing up in the doorway of the house or in the hallway of the house, but still, you know, that I oh, Tim Pool is Dim Fool. Okay. Yeah. Um when you take fire, you will probably start shooting randomly. Okay. You know what? We'll bring this up here. Um because I get what you're saying, AD. Also, $5 super chat. Thank you very much for your support. Okay. Let's see here. Where's the Breonna Taylor apartment? Let's see here. Okay. Oh God, this is actually perfect. Thank you, CNN, for once. But yes, thank you for the super chat. You'll take fire. Yeah. I get what you're saying, but here's the deal with Brent Hankinson. He was not taking fire. And I bring that up because if you look on here, um, if you guys are looking at this, and I'll try to zoom in on this a little bit more. Hope that helps. If you guys can see that. Um, this is not the exact apartment setup. I think it's further down. But if you can see this one over here on the bottom right, that is the exact same setup of Brianna's apartment. Okay, this one here on the bottom right. Brett Hankinson is standing over here on the sidewalk. The other guys, the door for her apartment is underneath the stairs. I think you guys can kind of understand how this is set up. Hankinson standing way out here on the side. He came running out here and started shooting through a window. He wasn't even taking fire. He was just shooting at God knows what. So he should have been charged. The other guys who got shot at, yes, they have every right to return fire. But him? No. He ran her halfway around the building and started shooting into a window that he couldn't see through. That's why he got in trouble, and he should have been in trouble for that. That's nonsense. Um, yeah. It's a tough one. I hate the DOJ and the cops abusing their power. Yeah, but like I said, we'll have to see. Maybe they did something wrong. But if they haven't, then great. I hope they walk. But I'm not going to trust the DOJ 100% yet. Um, yeah, yeah. But it's the deal of separate sovereigns, and the Supreme Court's upheld that for a long time. So they're not going to let that go away. Um, yes, I did. Yes, Sarah Boone is not going to trial right away. That's still that got continued. That got continued a ways out. Um, yeah, that's not what he did was covering fire, and that's not. Yeah, yeah, that wasn't fair. That wasn't fair what he did. Let's see here. Yeah, we are going to cover Sarah Boone. It's just that's a ways away, guys. Yeah, and that's the thing. Hankinson almost hit the police. Like his bullets went all along, all over that area of the wall. You guys can see for that bottom right apartment. Um, AD. Jeez, man. Another $5. Thank you so much. Holy cow. I appreciate your support very much. Yeah, psychological studies show something called the amygdala hijack when these events occur. And sure, yeah, that's fine. You're still responsible for every shot you crank off into an apartment building, though. You're like, oh no, my brain, I went into like fight or flight mode. Okay, that doesn't, excuse what he did. You still have to. Every bullet you fire has got your name attached to it, and apparently he skipped out on some accountability. Two toilets, outside toilets. Like I said, that's not her apartment, but also remember we are in Kentucky, so I kind of makes sense. If we're West Virginia, there'd probably be a couple more. Although I assume that's an apartment that's being renovated and they're throwing crap outside. A name, that's great. Yes, he thought he'd fight like his enemy and try the bullet spray approach. Yes. Very creative, yes. Outside modern solutions, modern problems require modern solutions. Yeah, I don't trust the DOJ, but hey, if this is why they can prove it. Let's see what they got. Yeah, he's very lucky the bullets didn't keep going. He only shot into one apartment and not the other ones, but we shall see. Those aren't toilets, those are lounge chairs. Oof. God, we're just being savage on the great state of Kentucky tonight. Aren't we? Guys. Dang. Hold on here. I gotta see something. Oh, we gotta save that image. 69 likes. And screen save that. All right. Giggity giggity. You punish the cops, not the criminal that sprayed bullets out the door. Well, what crime did he commit? Ultra death. I get what you're saying, but like, what crime did he do? He didn't commit a crime. He defended himself from a bunch of dudes who kicked in his door. What crime did he commit? Because if you kick in someone's door and you're the cops and you don't tell them you're the cops, what are they supposed to do? Especially in the middle of the night. You might get shot for that. Yeah, that's pretty much the way I understood it, that she ended up getting caught in the hallway when they started shooting back. Very unlucky. Oh my gosh, is it Amber's new apartment? God. Oh. Well, here. The Kentucky commodes as important as to the great state is fried chicken and Churchill Downs. Jeez. The cops say they banged on the door for about 8 minutes. Okay, great. And a lot of cops say they smell marijuana. So, no, I'm not giving the benefit of the doubt on that one because it's turned into a shit show. AD for another $5. Jeez. That's again, thank you so much. Holy cow, you are just like laying them out there. I appreciate it. Thank you for your support. My point was everyone's defending themselves. This is the utmost of civil cases, not criminal. Yes, but your actions almost killed another person. There were people on the other apartments, so like on the other sides of those walls, who were sleeping and bullets came screaming in, almost killing them. So it's not an issue of the people in the hallways shooting at each other. It's like if he walked out in the middle of your neighborhood and started just like air conditioning your neighbors. Like he's got to be held responsible for that. So did they not have? Oh no, they had a warrant. These guys had a warrant, but the cops who put the warrant together, the ones who got indicted by the DOJ, are not the ones who served the warrant. The ones who served the warrant were a different team. So the guys who actually showed up at the door, they have every right to presume the warrant's valid because it's not their job to go back and check it. The ones who put the warrant together are the ones who got in trouble for lying on it. Any thoughts on your favorite quarterback, Mr. Watson? Yes. I think it's bullshit he got suspended. If he actually, holy cow, Uncle Bubba, 5 more memberships. Jeez. Thank you very much. You're the man. If they thought he actually did this, then get rid of him. Like, you can't say like, oh, we think he kind of maybe did it and suspend him for 6 games. Like, if you think he did all this stuff, why isn't he just out of the league? That's why I don't get it. Like, either he did it or didn't do it. If you think he did it, despite not getting no billed, why 6 games? Because that means you kind of think he did it. And if you kind of think he did it, that makes you scumbags because then you're also admitting, well, money is more important for us at the end of the day. Well, if that's really the case, why not just tell everybody to fuck off and keep him in? Like I said, I don't think it's a really good look at the end of the day for the NFL. Slap. Amber doesn't need toilets as long as her mattress is around. Jesus criminy. Oh, good old boy for $5. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. I potentially criminal. I enjoy your stream. I love you challenging Chili. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that, but it's easy to challenge Chili. It's like challenging my 5-year-old nephew. Actually, soon to be 6. It's easy to do. So my nephew can say a lot more words than Chili, though. So, and unlike Chili, my nephew can eat corn on the cob because he still has all his teeth. Oh yes, Mookie, I think you're 100% correct. This trial is going to be interesting. There's going to be other stuff we haven't seen because for Brett Hankinson, we didn't actually care about the warrant. At that point, it was him just shooting. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they put the warrant together. What did they did? How did they get probable cause? What did they end up putting in that warrant? How did they get it? That's going to be very interesting. It will be very interesting. But yes, congratulations, Marco Polo, LV, Nero, Mark, and Mookie Blaylock. You guys all got memberships from Uncle Bubba. Thank you again, Uncle Bubba. You are very generous man. The world will know of your generosity. Yes, Duncan Lemp. Yes, Gene Williams. You're talking about Duncan Lemp. Yes. Yes, that was a whole nother issue. That kind of kicked off the Boogaloo movement in 2020. Oh, okay. I might actually time you out for that. Oof. I don't need that. I have enough problems in my life. I don't need that on top of it. Okay, that is not fair. Um, AD for $5. Once again, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate your support. Was Breonna Taylor murdered as a plot to further white supremacy to oppress minorities in the U.S. as per the great Benjamin Crump? No, it sucks. Benjamin Crump sucks, but you know what? Benjamin Crump has also made a ton of money. He got 30% of whatever her family settled for. So, he can, we can say he's wrong at the end of the day, but he's raking in the cash. But yes, he is certainly stoking the fires. Um, um, Chili is already challenged mentally. Yes, he is. Does your nephew have a trifold? No, no, he doesn't. And I would be very upset if he had one. Mark, yes, getting a coherent answer, that's another story. Joseph Mensa. Who's him? Who's Joseph Mensa? Joseph Mensa. No, I don't think I did that. Oh God, have I looked? I think I've talked about. Well, I think I've looked at this before. We'll come back to that. Maybe we cover that next week. Um, I don't know if there's been any updates in that. So, um, Chili's like beating special heads. It's kind of sad and hilarious. Yes, it is. It is. It is very much. Um, Benjamin Crump's an ambulance chasing asshole, but yeah, man got the work. He's got that work in. Um, you know, uh, ultra death. I mean, I'll say it like this: even people who have warrants have the right to defend themselves. I mean, he had a warrant, and they released him on all that, and that got sorted out. But hey, if you have a warrant, you have the right to defend yourself and your family. mean, I had a case once where the guy he was a convicted felon and he had a violent felony convictions, and he wasn't allowed to own a firearm, and he had a firearm, and their family thought they were going to get attacked by some gang members, and somebody was thumping on the door, so he started shooting through the door. Turns out he missed a police officer by about that much, like literally that much. And yeah, the cops never identified themselves. So guess what? He'll end up having to do, he got a smoke and plea deal out of that one. So yeah, even people who have bad records and convictions and warrants, they have the right to defend themselves. Especially, if just like anybody else. Um you can confirm she was well, thank you. We appreciate that. uh yeah, well no, I think he had he may have had other charges or something. If he had a warrant, I don't know if he did. But yes, the charges from shooting at the cops got dropped, but Ultra talking about if he had a warrant, so what if he did? If he has a warrant, he still has the right to defend himself because let's say it was some dudes who were coming in there to look for drugs. He'd have the right to defend himself. So, um, oh, I know you're not siding with the cops. You're just no offense intended. And if I came across a little aggro myself, my apologies. My apologies. Um, the weird thing about Benjamin being Benjamin Crump is I know a dude named Ben Crump. Well, at least the one you know is cool. Um, I, I don't think he was being obtuse. I don't think he's being obtuse about it. I no problem for me at all. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm not nothing at all for me. Um, Andrew Coffey, yes, he's the guy. The same day. Oh God, who got acquitted the same day, and everybody lost their minds this year. He got it. Oh, I think that was the same day Kyle Rittenhouse got acquitted. Um, yeah, he shot at a couple of cops, and they acquitted him of that. Sadly, he got convicted of being the felon in possession of a firearm, but so he's still going to be doing time. But yeah, he Oh, Critterville, you're taking off. Have a good night. Thanks for sticking around. Um, so Officer Mensa was exonerated by D.A. Chisholm and later by an independent prosecutor in another investigation. Okay. Thank you for that, Graham. I appreciate that. Guys, we're gonna get along. Daddy wants you guys to get along. Um, and Jesse the body voice. Oh God, I used to be able to do it. Thermite paint. I'm just asking questions. I used to be able to do his voice. I could impersonate him well for a while. I could do his voice. Uh, AD for $5 more. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support, man. My fear is like with Rittenhouse, leftists want to associate self defense with whatever ism they want to use at the time. Well, yeah, of course, but they're always going to do that. I mean, look at Kyle Rittenhouse. If they could have woven in any more narratives, they would have. If they could have used the narrative that he was Zeke Heiling as he, incinerated a bus full of like 4-year-old trans kids, they would have done that. Sadly, thankfully they couldn't put that in there. So, but yeah, that's I mean that you should expect that to happen at this point. If the death penalty were available in Wisconsin, would Binger have sought it for Kyle? No, because there's no premeditation. You need that premeditated first degree murder type of thing to go on. In this situation, I mean, no, I mean, really trying him for murder. I mean, really, I think if they had charged him with manslaughter, just straight up manslaughter instead and left it alone, maybe they would have got a convictions out of that. I mean, the jury may have bought a manslaughter thing. I thank God they didn't, and I don't think it would have been right. But no, it's definitely not premeditated murder what he did. I mean, he's defending himself. Calling it murder, I think that was a bit of a stretch. I mean, I'd argue it was probably more manslaughter would have been a more appropriate charge to try on, but these guys got greedy and went for murder. Yeah, he tried to argue it was premeditated using the CVS video, but they were showing motive. Because you can't just premeditate to randomly kill a random person. You kind of have to premeditatively kill us, like kind of select people, unless you do a ton. Um, but yeah, using the CVS video though, they would have charged him with that, aggravated, intentional murder first, but they never did. They were just going to use that as character assassination for Kyle. Um, Binger was a piece of work. Yeah. Yes, he crossed my state lines. My state lines. Um, it's for the people who. Okay, yes. I think they would have is on the table. Yeah, I possibly. Okay, I can't. I can't. I can't do that. I can't do that. I have a home in Mexico. I was a Navy SEAL. God, I can't do it. I can't do it tonight. I'm gonna have to work on it for you guys. Um, sorry, Marco Polo. Nero. He got 20 years for the weapons charge and 10 years credit towards him. I mean, yeah, it's not a bad deal, but it's still more time he's got to do, which I don't think he should have because I think being a felon in possession of a firearm, necessity is a valid argument. Like you had to defend yourself from these guys with guns coming in your house, so I grabbed a gun. Um, Now I think it didn't fly because the jury's like, well, you had it beforehand. It wasn't like somebody dropped the gun and you picked it up and used it randomly. So maybe that's why they got him for it. Um, Felony murder in some states. Not every state is a death penalty offense. That's the thing, Graham. Not every state considers felony murder a death penalty offense. I believe it can be at the federal level, especially. It is a possible death penalty offense, but not every state. So you have to be a little careful with that stuff. AD for $5. Thank you again. I appreciate your support. Good sir. Do you fear being labeled a white supremacist for the mere fact of defending a white defendant? That's all it takes in the world today. I mean, sure, but I mean, right now, I'd say majority of my, criminal case defendants are minorities. So sure, call me a white supremacist all you want, but like when I win the rape trial where my client's a black guy, or I win the drug trafficking trial where my client's a black guy, like, is that like am I like I don't know how they're gonna square that circle, but um, good for them, I guess. Uh Wait, hold on. Where do you guys went ahead to something here? I'm really confused what's going on. Um, Hold on here. You got stupid chat. It screws me up here. It's the same dude that shot the active shooter on the mall, though. What? You guys are confusing me right now. I guess I jumped in the middle of a conversation. Lol. Um, yeah, good old boy. I think Morgan Freeman is correct about that. Um, I think he's true. You better have that down by next Thursday. Actually, probably will work on that. Probably work on that tonight. Probably gonna piss my girlfriend off with it. Hopefully she's not watching to get ready. Um, let's see here. Yes, mind control. Um, uh, Jim Satala. Jim, I always, like I said before, and I think I said it the one night too. I always appreciate your comments. Um, did you see that Japan says China committed an act of war by firing missiles into their? He was into their economic exclusion zone. Yeah, while Pelosi was in Japan. Well, she was in Taiwan, not Japan. Yes, yes. Japan said China committed an act of war. Now, what I could see that doing is that is going to probably really fire up the Japanese government and their parliament to lift all the restrictions on the Japanese having an offensive capability in their military. By their constitution, the Japanese military is a self defense force only. Um, Yet they've built, big amphibious landing ships that are helicopter carriers that can carry all the F-35s they bought. Also, I have a feeling Japan is very well. Japan is pretty much known to be one of the most nuclear capable countries in the world that doesn't own nuclear weapons. Now, they don't own a nuclear weapon, but it's widely believed basically because they have the intelligence and the infrastructure to do it. They've built a nuclear weapon and it's in a million pieces. Maybe not in a million, but a couple parts. And they could just, bolt it together and boom, they've got a bunch of nukes. So, and they have a great missile program because they have a space program. So, yes, Japan is probably very likely, I think, if things escalate further, going to become our newest nuclear power very soon. Um, the honor killing trial in Texas. I assume that's probably part of the what is that with the one thing somebody brought the Yasser Saeed case, maybe. Um don't look into New Jersey self-defense cases. One where the homeowner was charged for shooting a person who was armed with a screwdriver in his home. Prosecutor argued he should have fled the scene. Um oh, hold on. Jim saying she went to Japan after Taiwan. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, either way, that's not looking good for China. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, and what I would say is you have to be careful with when you hear about how these cases were done because I don't know everything about them. I don't know exactly what the guy did. If the prosecutor did make an argument the guy should have fled the home, I mean, yeah, fuck him and his attorney for not catching that. Because that's not something that should have happened. But yeah, that's why you got to be careful about states like that. I mean, a state that makes you get a pistol permit for a pellet gun is not a place of sanity. Even if society decides that they want to make a law. Remember, guys, we had a vote is not a justification for anything. Um, uh, yeah, no, yeah, Elijah Dickens, I know, but I didn't know what we were talking about the mall shooting before. Um, have I tried to rape? Yes, I've done rape cases. I've done ones where a girl says her stepdad touched her. That was one of the that one we got an acquittal on. That was a tough one. That one was a lot of sleepless nights. I didn't sleep the 2.5 days of the trial for that one. That was a hard one. Uh, so yeah, I I I I didn't sleep at all, and then, we got the verdict, and it was, we got the verdict, and it was Friday, and I slept till, like, Saturday afternoon. Um, so yes. Okay, yes, you're talking about Yasser Saeed. We can talk about that one. Matt, you're heading to sleep. Appreciate it, Matt, always when you're around. Thank you again. Japan, yes, they have lessened their restrictions, but it's still in their constitution. So I expect things to change very quickly in Japan. Um, crazy cat, crazy cat queen for $5. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. Sean, love your work. I don't get to watch it as often as I'd like, but happy I got to join your live stream today. Well, thank you again. I appreciate you being here. Um, um, I think Twisted Sisters were streaming. I will say this much, guys. I haven't been able to stream as much, and I know I'm guilty of not being able to get on top of that. And I'm hoping I can fix that soon. I am sorry about that. But yes, Twisted Sisters, they've been kicking ass and doing a great job with things. Critter and Gabby and Matthew, I know those guys have been kicking ass. So in the meantime, guys, give them some of your show them some love. It's always a good idea. Have you seen the legislation introduced to ban the IRS from buying ammunition? Yes, I have. Um, um, I mean, the IRS doesn't need a SWAT team. I mean, they're going to have armed people, I guess. So I don't know, have them buy their ammunition as they use it. But yes, buying a couple 100,000 rounds, although if it's the government, you want to buy in bulk, but maybe, yeah, there should be a lot less armed federal agents. How about I just go with that? Holy shit. I got to catch up here, but, AD for $50. Holy shit, thank you very much, I appreciate it. Um, very much. Thank you for your super chat. I hope I never have to be in this situation, but if money isn't an option and your client is really smart, do you and they go over strategies of how to attack a case? Can you describe how a defense attorney attacks a hypothetical case in the future? Um, I mean, really, you have to start with. Okay. I guess we're gonna do this now. How do I start with a case? Okay. Well, I make sure I know the elements. All right. What evidence do I have? When I get discovery, what do I have in front of me? And then, I have spent time as a prosecutor. I kind of sit there and say, what can I do with that? Can I work with it? Is there enough here? I think a jury would be convinced. And then I talk to people I know. I have a couple of friends. One of my best friends, he's another attorney. I run stuff by him. Hey, what do you think about this? If you're on a jury, what would you think? My other best friend, he's a pastor. I run stuff by him. He's very smart too. See what they think. And then I go to the person I think is probably the person I go to my dad. I go to Papa Martin and I run it by him. Hey, Dad, what do you think about this? Here's the facts. What do you think? If you're on the jury, what would you do? And there's times where he asks me a couple of questions. He asks about this, asks about that, and he ponders it over. And sometimes he has to get back to me. Sometimes he says, "Okay, not guilty," or "guilty." If he says, and I try to just get that idea from people I know. And that's right at the beginning. And then there's times where I'll talk to other attorneys I know, defense attorneys. Hey, I got to, kind of run this by you. And then there's some times where I will sit down with them and like, hey, read through this. What do you think? And I've had other attorneys do that for me. I've done it for other attorneys as well. That's really where it starts. If your client is intelligent, I mean, even then you have to be careful because even the smartest client's going to think, "Hey, man, you need to focus on this." No, I don't. It's not. I know you think that's like, look, the police officer. The guy says red shoes and then he says blue shoes. Dude, it's about whether or not you shot a guy in the face. So I don't care. This guy may have shot your shoes wrong because he clearly identifies you and says, "I know him because I went to high school with him." That's a bigger problem. So, what I will do is I will explain to them, here's where we are with this. Um, if I was the prosecutor, here's how I would put your case together. As a defense attorney, here's my proposed idea and what we're going to do going forward. And that's how I try to explain things to people. Now, if you come up to me and you tell me, hey, what about X, Y, and Z? Or have you thought about talking to so and so? I am all ears. And if you do bring some information up and you bring up a good point, or hey, what about this or what about that? And it can help, certainly I'll think about it and I may use it. But, um, you know, it, generally speaking, and I hate to say this to you guys not are always aren't focusing on the right things. When you're a client, you're focusing on what you think might be the mic drop, and it's like it's not even a mouse fart. So it's hard to do that with somebody because they think there's something there that'll help them, and it's or there is something that's going to help them, but it's clearly not what they think is going to help them, and that causes problems. So yeah, I kind of hope I answered both those for you, AD. If not, let me know. But yeah, I truly appreciate it. Um, Now I gotta run back through here real quick. I gotta speed run some of this. Um, Sometimes I miss the way he said China. Have I done any capital cases? No, not yet. Uh, but that may change in the future, hopefully. Yeah, Tarkov's not bad. I don't know. It's not for me. I'm still a big squad guy. Thanks for all that free legal advice about how to break the law, Sean. Appreciate it. Um, yes, Chaucer, you're right. In most states, you cannot use deadly force to defend property. Pretty much the only state you can do that's in Texas, and that's in a very limited situation. So, uh, yeah. Actually, I'm going to be probably involved in a murder case coming up. I've been in the prosecution of a murder, but not defending one. But I will probably be working with another attorney coming up on a murder case soon. Got to work out some of the kinks first, but probably. Um, I saw a case a day or so ago in Washington, I think. There was a DVRO, and the husband came to the house, and she fled to a neighboring house, and the husband followed and got shot. Yeah, well, that can happen. Yeah, if there's a restraining order, stay away. Um, Neighbor got charged with shooting the husband. Wow, I'll have to look into that one. If you could find more information out, shoot me an email on that. Um, okay, jeez, now it's turning into a Rakata stream. Jeez. I'm just kidding with you guys. Yes, Nero, you're correct. 49 to 50 states. Yeah, you can't defend property with deadly force. Um, Richard Gruber for $5. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. What if we just made breaking the law illegal? No one would do it, right? Yeah, I know. It should be illegal to do bad things. Um, sure, it should be. Jim, I agree. It sounds like defense of others, but Um, it's just kind of like the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. The news stories don't always portray the case and the facts enough for you to make a decision sometimes. So who knows? Maybe this neighbor was banging the wife and, there was some arguments and fighting. Who knows? There could be a million things that change that. Um, I am late to, but Jones should not appeal. He should pay the 7 million max and be done. If he appeals, he could lose 10 times. That's sure. And maybe his attorney's malpractice care is going to pick up some of that. And if they do, and it's only like $8 or $9 million, Mr. Alex Jones survives another day, and so does InfoWars. So, silver linings, folks. Silver linings. Fingers crossed. The only people I can see having a SWAT style team you wouldn't expect is the CDC. Between bio stuff and how communicable diseases are, there's a reason that teams protect the doctors and to quarantine people. Yeah, but you know what? That's like go grab like a team of Green Berets or something for that, or some like DevGru team from you know, in Virginia Beach to go do that. You don't need to like make a special squad. Now for like a Nest team, yeah, I could see that for the nuclear stuff. Um um Chaucer, I agree. I can't comment on that because that'll get us in trouble. Marco Polo. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to work. God, you guys really are going crazy tonight. I am gonna have to work on that. I think I might try some shorts. Yeah, I saw Jeremy tweeting about that, and yeah, I think I will. I appreciate the suggestion. I will probably start trying to do that. So we'll do some. Let me know. Um, so everyone is trying to compete with TikTok. Yeah, TikTok's the great thing to run on. Um, oh, absolutely. I'll follow you where you need. You are the attorney. um, uh, Jim, yeah, I mean, he could have been shot on the porch. He could have always. There's a million things that could have happened there, but yeah, there's something we don't know about, or maybe the prosecutor is a scumbag. Who knows? Oh, we got the sex bots coming in. Woohoo! That's great. That's so you're having a great night. Um, why isn't discovery always shared with the defendant? Um, there are times where I'm not allowed to share discovery with you. For example, if it's a domestic violence case and the victim now lives somewhere else. Well, if there's things with her address on it, normally I just redact it myself and that way you can see it. But let's say I didn't redact it. I can't show that to you because that could put her at risk. There are some times where stuff is protected. Under like the prosecutor can say it's restricted and I can tell you about it, but I can't let you see it. Now, do I think that's bullshit? Yes, but I also have to tell everybody because this is me as an officer of the court. I always follow the rules of discovery. I follow all rules as an attorney and I certainly don't break them. Um, Crazy Cat Queen for $20. Thank you very much for your support. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Um, Japan will never use nukes till boomer, Gen X, and millennials die. I worked with the JSDF in the 90s. Too much memory of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, especially when the families of those who were there remember, like my mom's family. Oh, sure. I don't think they would ever use one, but I think if China gets out of hand, they will say, hey, look, we've got them too now. Um, and unlike you, we know where our rockets are going to go. Especially because China, I mean, China is right now on satellite. They're building more DF-10 silos. I mean, you can see all the parts being assembled to build silos. I think Japan's really going to have to, or they're going to allow the Americans to stage nukes in Japan. Either or. Maybe just have them sit there. We shall see. Um, Kale Burke for 10 10 loonies or 5 toonies. Uh 10 Canadian dollars. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. Just because. Well, thank you. Um do you prefer defending or prosecuting? I prefer defending. I mean, the good thing about prosecuting is you don't have to like go hunt business. You get a steady paycheck. But that's about it. I prefer to be on the defense side. It's, there's some niceness when you're kind of like your own cowboy and you get to run free and, go find stuff, but that does suck at times. It's kind of a blessing and a curse, but I prefer it ultimately. It's just not for me to be on the prosecutor side. I'm very critical of things and, I don't think we should be prosecuting as many people as we do. So it's not always the best trait in a prosecutor. Um, so can you take on a case in Portage County? Yes. And hold on, I will Uncle Bubba, I just put that in. Okay, what? Hold on here. Okay, Uncle Bubba, hold on. Wait, you think you've got my email? Shoot me an email. I'll come down to Ravenna. It might be a little more for me than if I'm just coming down the road to like, Cleveland or or Chardon or something. But yeah, I'll come down to Portage County. Not a problem at all. Uh, hit me up with my email. Okay, I appreciate it. Um, why did I move from prosecutor to defender? It, there are teams sorry, there are times where it's just not for me. And the last time I gave it a shot, I tried it once before. And then I was in a very small area and a very rural area, and I thought I could enjoy being a rural attorney. I can't. I need to be in a bigger setting, a little more people going on. Then I tried to do it. And I went from there to a prosecutor's office in a far bigger area. It's just it wasn't for me. It's very difficult. I mean, when you're dealing with cases, you're dealing with, like, for example, police officers. Like, they really think their cases are good, and you have to explain to them, like, no, this really isn't that good. I've got a lot of problems with it. Like, here's what's wrong. This isn't right. You need to fix this, you need to fix that. Um, those are problems. Problems with victims being very unreasonable. Like, yes, I understand, you have to tell somebody, it's like, I get he stole your car, but we can't throw him in prison for 10 years. It doesn't work like that. And yes, he stole your, like, you coming in and demanding the max sentence, like, okay, then great. We go to trial and we probably lose. Like these case, like on shaky cases and just there were just a lot of things I didn't like. Now, I'm not saying anybody was ever improper or illegal or unethical. No, both offices I worked for were phenomenal. And I'd say especially on the first one I worked for, a top-notch office run by great people. My elected he was the man. Kevin is the man. He's still there. He's great. Not I will never doubt, I always assume and I will never doubt that he's playing straight on everything. Um, but there's just times where like like, should we really prosecute this? Should we really prosecute that? Just just we had differences, philosophical differences, really. And that's kind of when I then from there I went to a bigger office, you know, I realized I still had those differences. It wasn't just I needed to be a change of scenery. It's not the job for me. Um, then there is also some political considerations that happen, but that's another story for another time. And if you ever run into me in person in the Cleveland area, I'll tell you all about it. But I'll leave that alone for now. Um, Bronco went over the neighborhood shooting case. I'll take a look at it. Um, Shorts are cancer. They make no money either. I'll give it a shot and a little bit. It can't hurt. It can't hurt a little bit to try. Um, I want to meet the hot local singles in my area. Yes, I know everybody left the chat and all the sex bots came in. Shimada sex bot. Can I do that? Let's see here. Oh, hold on. Let's scroll back up. I gotta check it on here. Okay, sex love chat XY. Add moderator. Let's see what happens. Okay, I just did it. um let's see here. I'm trying to catch up, guys. Sorry. Um corruption. Sure. Nero, do you practice in Cuyahoga County? Yes, I do. Uh all over the east side of Cuyahoga County. If you're on the west side, I'll come your way. I mean, like, might cost just a little bit more, but I mean, not shouldn't be too much. I mean, it's pretty quick to get over there, but yeah, I'll come over. I'll come out that way and play. Um, so yeah, in a small town, but you'd be surprised how often crazy things happen in big cities where people end up knowing each other. With your attitude, that's probably why you should be a prosecutor. Too many bingers out there. Yeah, but that's for the elected prosecutor or DA, their job, part of their thing is they want to be reelected. And, while that sounds great, but if you're not prosecuting tons of people or you're letting a lot of things go, a lot of regular voters don't like that. So, I mean, it's you need people who are very pro prosecution. Um, this could go one of many ways. Yeah, I know. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens, guys. We're gonna try it. Um, I'm sure Critter and all them are gonna wonder tomorrow, like, what the hell did you do? Um, so I will start committing my crimes closer to you. Yeah, hey, or I mean, if wherever you're at in Ohio, I will travel. Just might cost you a little bit. I wonder yeah, I wonder what it'll do. That'll be hilarious. Maybe it'll start giving out memberships or something. Okay, Nero. Yeah, just shoot me an email. Should be all good. Um, where are we at now? Um, the Nikolai Mew case from Wisconsin claims self defense, but the Daily Beast and all have already tried and convicted him. Um, I mean, yeah, that's. I don't know about him, but I'll. Let's see here. I need to open up Nikolai Mew, Wisconsin. Need to include him on a list. Oh, hold on. I have my topic list somewhere. Where is it? Shit. Live TV, just dead air right now. Good job, Sean. Dead air, dead air, dead air. Video topics. There we go. Um, Nikolai MIU, Wisconsin. All right, I will take a look at that one, guys. We'll see what happens. I don't know anything about him. Is there a kid? One thing I wondered from the lawyer's perspective: how did Nelson do in the Chauvin case? I think he did fine. I think he did for what he had. Did a great job. It's the problem is, I mean, Chauvin is the problem. Your biggest problem is your client. In this case, your client did some shitbagginess. I thought he did a phenomenal job. I thought he did more than enough. It was very good. I don't think he really messed up anywhere. He fought everywhere he could and, fought within the lines that the judge set for him. So no, I thought he did adequate. Um, is there a case you won't defend? No. Nope. I mean, if I get appointed to him, no. There's nobody there's not a case I won't take. Um, now if you come to me as a private person, you don't have the money for it, okay, well, I'm not gonna just do stuff for free. But if a court were to call me and say, "Hey, will you take this case?" The only time I wouldn't take it is if I didn't feel I was properly like if they asked me to be the first chair in a death penalty case. I wouldn't do it. Why? Well, because I have not taken the training for it. I'm not properly qualified under the rules for appointed counsel. Like the public defender, they have set rules for that. Well, I would like to adhere to those rules. I think they're probably good. So if I got that, I probably wouldn't take it, but I would certainly involve and be on the team. But that's just because I don't think I can provide that adequate level of representation yet. Um, Opinion on the genealogy DNA. Yeah, doing 23andMe and all that stuff. I mean, they use that stuff, they can comb those DNA databases. That's how they caught the Golden Gate Killer because they did the familial DNA and mitochondrial stuff. Yeah, so no, don't give your stuff up like that. I don't understand why people would. Um, and there's also, I think, there's the guy who gave a lecture recently saying, that also can let them craft weapons to kill you because they know how to target you. That's a little more, I think, conspiracy theory wise, but yeah, you shouldn't be giving up your data if you don't have to. I remember when I was a kid, they did this thing. It was called Safety Town, and you could get your like fingerprints done and your dental records to the police. And it was like, oh well, if you get lost, and it's like, no, if we're dead, you can identify us. But why do the police have my fingerprints? Like, why do we give those up to them? You don't need them. The government doesn't need my DNA profile. So yeah, if you do it, you're giving stuff away. So it's all people want to do. Um, Zero signal. Oh, I tried to send a chat with a joke, but Susan protected you. Well, uh, yeah, that's the shitty part about YouTube. But she's doing it because she knows what's best. Mama Susan cares for us all. Um, yeah, Mookie, I think he did a very good job. I just think they're yeah, yeah. You would do me for free, baby, all night. I don't know if you have enough. I don't know if you have enough dignity for me to take from you, Stabby. But we'd find out. Um, do you think there should be more liability for the public disclosure of records? Um, can you clarify a little bit? Because I'm not sure which way you're going. Like, you talking about like Edward Snowden style, or like if I go air your dirty laundry out to the world? My buddy just found out he had a son with a genealogy test. It's not, no, it's not all bad. It's not. But now your buddy's dad, his DNA is basically up for whoever wants it. Now they know his entire DNA profile. The government could collect that. I mean, if they know your DNA profile, they could, theoretically use that against you. That's like if somebody has my fingerprints, they could plant evidence. Like, there's no reason for corporations and people to have that information. It's just not gay. Um, I know. I just want them to stop making the frogs gay. Yes, everybody wants the frogs to stop being gay. Um, very much so. I'm very interested in that. Um, oh, thank you. Ooh, Sue. Getting a little spicy in there. Oh, no. I mean, I'd like it if they didn't, but you surrender that stuff to a private company. It's like if I give you my cell phone number, you can give it to anybody you want to. There's no restriction on it. It's like any picture you put on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever. They have access to that. Like, you're giving it up. So it's in their user agreements, But even then, if you provide all this information, it's theirs. I mean, that's just kind of like basic, I think legal foundational argument. So I don't think it would really go anywhere. I disagree with it, but almost every court's going to side with them on that. Uh didn't the defense attorney for Amiott almost get held in contempt? Yes. Oh, it got very spicy. Got very, very spicy there. Yes. So okay. Um so hold on one second, guys. Um hold on here. Let's see here. Seriously, you know, like the gay frogs. Well, that's fine, but they should be gay on their own. They shouldn't be like given chemicals and turned gay. They should make that decision on their own. Um, if I was okay, John, that's actually interesting. The DNA thing. If I was approached by the police asking about a suspect I was a close match to, do I have to help? No, you don't have to do a damn thing. Do not help them. If they say, "Hey, we found it. We there was a report of a robbery, and the guy looks a lot like you should immediately be worried that they're going to arrest you. No, do not help them. Don't, you are not, no, 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 stop it. No, do not help them. You're under no obligation to help them. You can't feed them. Do not give them bad information, but you don't have to help them. Do not help them. They are not there to help you. Um, Yes. So hope that makes it clear, John. Oh, we need your fingerprints. Oh, we need your DNA. Fuck you guys. Get a fucking warrant. That should be your answer. And then you immediately need to flip open Google and find an attorney fucking immediately. Okay? Like immediately. Like you're on the Titanic and you just struck an iceberg if that's the situation you're in. That's bad news. And you need to get off the boat quickly. And you need help. So I hope that's completely hypothetical. I hope that really hasn't happened to you. If it has, then let me know. I can try to help you figure out what you need to do. Um, Jim, I personally believe the kangaroo court happened with Alex, just the first step towards hate speech laws in the US. Yes, it'll be punished civilly, and that's how they'll start. And that's how it'll start. I don't think you're wrong at all. Nero, well, have a nice night. Thank you. You're one of the best sites on this platform. Well, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Kale Burke for 10 Canadian pesos. Thank you very much again. I appreciate your support very much. I used to think defense attorneys were trash until I started watching LawTube. Now I understand some of the nuances of defense and how everyone has the right to a defense. Also, how I assume MSM lies during trials. Yeah. Yep. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad. Kind of seeing everybody do their thing has kind of opened the world to you in that regard. And yeah, there's, you know, the media, they all everybody's got an agenda, everybody's got an angle they're trying to push. Yes, since it's closed in the user agreements, it can be done for law enforcement. Yeah, the DNA stuff, totally. Yeah, that Patricia, that is a phenomenal argument. What can insurance companies do with that? All kinds of things. Oh, and Mitro, I agree. Like you can do it for a lot of different things. It's just make sure you make an educated and informed decision. As long as you do it knowing everything about it, knowing the risk, then by all means do it. Um, your wife found out her grandmother got around and grandpa was not grandpa. Yeah, that's the other problem with these. Although I'm not gonna lie, those TikToks are hilarious when the guy ambushes his baby mom or wife saying, "That ain't my kid, get out of my house." That's hilarious. Um, you know, Crazy Cat Queen, you're right. And if you have been in those situations, it doesn't matter. If you're in like for the military, yeah, they got all your stuff. And yes, I had to give my fingerprints up to be an attorney. I had to give my fingerprints up to get a concealed carry license. So yeah, there's some things I've given up, but if I don't have to give up the other stuff, I won't. But yes, in your case, yeah, they got everything for you. um, Justice for the frogs. Yes. Uh, just because you didn't, well, I can't say that yet. We're not done. Um, Crazy Cat Queen for $5. Thank you for your super chat. I appreciate the support. Geez, am I naive? I always thought helping the police was the right thing to do. Um, I mean, I used to be that way too. So, don't feel bad. I mean, it's the way the world's changed. Um, oh no, Jim, I think no, Jim, I don't think you're more cynical than me. I think we're on the same wavelength. I don't think they're trying to get this case tossed on an appeal. I think they're going to use the civil court system to bully people. And it's going to be the first step in imposing hate speech laws because they'll file lawsuits and then they can go to the legislature and say, oh my gosh, look at these rash of lawsuits that are going on because of all this hate speech. We should do something about it. Now we'll pass a law. So I hope you understand me and you. I think we're on the same wavelength there. There will be legislation in the future trying to be. I mean, we've seen it before a couple of times already. I just think these civil suits are going to be used to help push it. So I think we're probably actually on the same wavelength there. M2, have a good night. Oh, our chat, Crazy Cat Queen, welcome to being a member. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Well, you guys can't call it a sex bot anymore. It's a mod. I gave him a wrench. So you guys need to show my mod some respect. Sexbot is a mod just as much as Critter and Matt right now. So be nice. Oh, I'm glad it's not an issue you're facing, John. I just wanted to make sure we're all caught up. Yeah, no, it's always a good night when they show up. Use Tom's line. It depends. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think they're gonna, either way they can get this, they're gonna push it. Um, so is it a model, is it a model sex bot? Oh yeah, I don't see the wrench. Where did it go? Oh well, you guys need to respect them. They are all sex bots are mods, in my opinion, at least here. Yes, respect the sex. Um, if you witness a crime, or actually, hold on, Stabby. If you witness a crime or you need emergency assistant, cops are okay. But otherwise, don't talk to the cops. Yeah, yes, I agree. Like, if you're laying there dying and somebody just shot you, and like, who robbed you? Like, can't say fuck you, I ain't talking to you, and then die. You should probably be like, yeah, this guy, he was wearing like a red hat and blue shoes, and he killed me, and he ran that way. Yes. Um, can I reinstate it? I'll try it. Um, I don't see a wrench either. Oh, I'm gonna have to work on this. This sucks. Hold on, I'm gonna make a mod. There's gonna be some guy in like Thailand who's like really confused about what's going on. Zero Signal for $5. Thank you for your super chat. I appreciate the support. Sexbot as a mod, yes. govern yourself accordingly. Um, I wasn't trying, like, crazy cat queen. I wasn't trying to be hilarious about it. I'm just like, it's like, yeah, I mean, but like we're all naive about that. Like we like to think the government's good and trying to help us. I mean, I was in that boat for a long time. I was trying to think about how to say it because it's an honest question and I think it deserves a truly honest answer and a respectable answer. I don't, yeah, I'm just trying to do it the right way. But I understand and I appreciate it. Yes, they yelled us MAGA country as it ran off. Yes, Dave, sex bot work is real work. Um, yeah, work that mod. Yes. Yeah, from Southside Chicago, keep your mouth shut. Yeah, not always a bad idea. As to helping police, if the police are talking to you, they very well be assume you have something to do with it. Exactly. They're talking to you because you could have been a witness. They think you did it, or you know who did it. So yes, always be careful. Do not talk to the cops. Like 99.999% of the time, you're ever gonna have to talk to them. Now, like I said, if you happen to be in the bank and they do a bank robbery, yeah, you could probably say like, yeah, I saw who did it. If you want to help, you don't have to help. Maybe you know who did it, but you don't want to turn your buddy. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I respect it. You don't want to snitch on your bro. Um, Sean is the most diplomatic, kind person on YouTube. Yeah, you haven't been here on Friday or Saturday nights, or the night where things got out of hand. I'll just leave it at that, Sue. But I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Um, there are sex bots, so they only have DNA. I don't know, and I'm not sure I want to find out. Ooh. Um, Only Thursdays. Oh well, thank you. I appreciate it too. So yes, on Thursdays I'm a very very kind person. Thank you. Um, Most of the time, police show up in civil shit. That's not their job. Yeah, they do. And that happens a lot, and that causes a lot of problems. I think. So, 2 hours in. All right. So I am because we need to actually look at this. This is kind of interesting. Um, so somebody brought up Yasser Saeed, or I'm not sure how you. I think that's probably how you pronounce it. It is a um. Oh, so okay, guys. So this is involved with a capital murder trial in Texas, in Dallas. Um, killed the he killed his two children. So his ex-wife testified, and the allegation is he killed his two daughters for dating American boys, and so it really was an honor in his mind, an honor killing. We frown upon just quickly, just so everybody's aware. In the United States, we frown upon the concept of honor killings. Do not do them, even if you have cultural or religious or ethnic motivations to do so. Thank you. Um, Sex bots are spreading the monkeypox. um, every time I shoot at the cops, they pull out their guns. How do I stop this? I don't know. That's yeah, one of life's mysteries. um, Maybe the mod banned itself. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little disappointed they're gone. Um, so anyway, yes, he is. It looks like it's a case going on in Dallas. His ex-wife talked about she married at 15 after only dating for 3 weeks. Woo. And she had three children in quick succession, and only She left to return only out of fear. I'm assuming probably fear for her children. Um, so yeah, he's charged with his murdering his two daughters. Their bodies were found in January of 2008 in a cab, and he was captured 12 years later. Wow. He's on the run a lot, man. Um, so yes, apparently there's allegations that he sexually abused them, and that's certainly a motive to kill them too. But yes, it sounds like he killed them ultimately for dating American boys, and yes, with their hip and hop and popping and locking. Yeah, I understand why he might not like that. Um, so yeah, oh, here's Yasser Saeed. Yeah, nice looking guy. Actually got the nice Saddam style mustache. Um, good for him. Um, oh, okay. Um, so apparently one of the girls was dating a college boy, and that upset him. Um, and the other one had oh, they had also got engaged. Oh, wow, killed his daughters after they got engaged. Jeez. Um, wow. Okay. So he checked their phone records and he called the numbers in it. And if it was a boy answered, he would write boy beside it. And if he wrote like boy and girl on it. Oof. Jeez. Um, yeah. Well, uh, well, this doesn't sound good. That guy's gonna have fun going to the death house in Texas. Yeah, have fun with that, brother. Um, thank you very much, Kale Burke. I appreciate that. Um, get that butt. Wait, no. Butt stuff. Um, Gee, Stormcrow. That stash reminds me of Gas Kurtz. Yes. If I can't smoke weed in Russia, then he can't kill people in the USA. Um, oof, come on. That's a good one though. Mookie, you're asking about yes, we'll look it up. Criminal case records. Asking about the Millers, the Dumpster Bros. Search. Okay, wait, we need to go back. Only open ones. Only open Michael Millers. Yeah, it's Mookie, you're asking about the Dumpster Bros. Yeah, they're set for August 22nd. August 22nd. That week I've got a couple of things have popped up. I'm gonna have to talk to Nick. 'Cause I don't know if he's still gonna cover it or what he's planning on doing. I don't know. I'll probably pick it up or do whatever if it's not and cover it the best I can. But that week, a couple things have gotten scheduled I can't control. So yeah, oopsity poopsity. But we'll see. Fingers crossed on that one. But keep that one, keep a pin in that one for now. Um, zero signal. If I can't smoke weed in Russia, then he can't kill people in the U.S. I know. We should respect each other's cultures. Um, would you take a case where the details just are hard not to laugh at? Oh yeah, happens a lot. It just people doing dumb things, getting arrested or getting in trouble, or civil cases where dumb things happen. Yeah, it's hard not to laugh at times, and you have to be, especially if you want the client, you don't laugh at them because they don't like if you laugh at their situation. But there are some of those where it happens. Um, yeah, I think he said he is covering it, but I just want to double check. But I also know he's out like doing vacation stuff, so yeah. Am I still banned? Oh, yeah. My potentially criminal is gone off Twitter forever until Daddy Elon comes in and saves everybody and releases me from the gulag. But yes, Twitter did get rid of me. What is my opinion of the dumpster bros? Guilty or justified? Not guilty. Nothing is justified. I mean, you shot a guy because you guys had a fight over a mattress. Like, I call the goddamn cops if it's that big a problem. You two hillbillies. I mean, sure, they ended up having to defend themselves, but I'm betting those guys right now are thinking, "Wow, I could have just be sitting at home, you know, masturbating and eating Cheetos all the time." Well, they probably do that anyway now, but they'd be able to do that without worrying about a murder charge sticking over their head. Um, Probably would have been a lot easier. So it's justified, but it's kind of like the Chad Reed one where like the dads were fighting. Like, yeah, you shot him, but like, did you really need to shoot him? Like, was this all necessary? And no, it wasn't all necessary. Let the roid raging dipshit throw it out, throw the mattress out there, then you come back and throw it back out, or you let the city come deal with it. I mean, the police are great for this kind of a thing. Instead of you having to shoot someone. Yeah, it's awful but lawful. I mean, it's a legal shoot, but it's not Kyle Rittenhouse. I can tell you that much. Um, oh my god, are you spying on me? Uh well, I don't know. It depends on what you're doing and what you're wearing. Oh, well, if you do that and eat Cheetos, hey, people are down for that to watch it. At least they got a mattress out of it. Jeez. Ah. Um. Texas not seeking the death penalty for the murder of his daughters. Oh, well, they're looking for something because it said it's a capital case. Um. They'll get acquitted only because it's Texas. Yeah, I mean that's the best thing they got going for them. They did it in Tejas. They did it in Ohio. I mean, it would really depend on the community they did it in because there's some cities where they probably let it slide. But yes, they've got the best chance in Texas. So, um, ADM staying away from that one. Oh, Gene. So Saeed's son and brother were already sentenced for hiding him for 12 years, so the entire family's gone except for mom. Ooh, that sucks. That's a sad story. Her daughters are dead and her son and brother are in prison and her husband's gonna get executed. Like, that's a sad, sad story. Um, Cops wouldn't have gotten involved. I mean, they might have to say, like, you guys all need to knock it off, and who knows what would have happened there. But yeah, was this worth getting into a gunfight over and risking? This is how you know whether it was really a good idea or not. Is this worth going to jail for 99 years if you lose? No. So that's how you know it wasn't worth it. It's not really a good idea. If you're Kyle Rittenhouse, is it worth it to kill those guys and risk going to prison forever? Well, yeah, because they were going to kill him. So that one was worth it. Um, so yeah, and he needed to kill in defense. That's going to be one of their things. Is this guy was a scumbag, so we took him out. Um, let's see here. Jim, I thought all capital cases in Texas were death penalty eligible, and the judge decides the penalty phase. Well, once it's but when I say a capital case, I mean the prosecutors already decided we're going for the death penalty. That makes it a capital case. The judge doesn't decide the penalty phase; the jury might. It all depends on their systems. But generally, if there's a judge involved, it becomes like a multi-judge decision there. Um, for the most part, but yeah, it's not, you know, otherwise it's just like, first degree murder is not always a death penalty eligible case. Just like in Ohio, aggravated murder is the death penalty eligible case or offense. Not every aggravated murder is always a death penalty eligible, or is the death penalty is sought. I think I've said it before. Death penalty cases cost a lot of money. It takes a lot of time and effort to put together. Even if the defendant loses and they have to pay court costs, it's not like they're ever going to pay them. So you're basically throwing money into a hole with time and resources. Ooh, shots are fired at the Mall of America. Ooh. Um. Oh, they were fired in a crowded store. Nobody was hurt. Yeah, that sounds like that's some small time gangster stuff. Ooh, our mod is back. Our lovely mod, Love Chat. Welcome back, baby. Oh my God, there's a lot of them. She's just spamming it hard. Look at her go. Look at her go. AD, no, I don't know how to have your milkshake help bring everybody to the yard. I did mod the bot already. I don't know why the wrench isn't showing up. We'll have to figure that out. Sue, we got to be careful in case my girlfriend's watching this. She'll kick your ass and then my ass. Yeah, I know. Yeah, love chat. She spammed the girl getting it. Get it, girl. Oh. I assume you live in Texas because, yes, Texas is very fond of the death penalty. But also remember, you live in one of the largest states in the country, and also there's like almost 300 county or wait, how many counties are in Texas? There are 254 counties in the state of Texas. So each one of those can seek the death penalty for most part. So that's a lot of places. Oh, Alabama. Yeah, they do, but not as much, but yes. Oh, LV. Oh, is you brought up Yasser up? Oh, okay. Well, you can catch up. You can go at like 2 times speed. You'll catch up in no time. Um, crazy, crazy, crazy cat queen. Well, have a nice night. Thank you again for everything. Yes. Hold on. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. I don't know. Is that how you say it? Alabama. Um, yes, Kyle should have stayed home with his mom. Yes, he should have. And that would have been the best thing. He should have stayed home and played Call of Duty. That'd have been the best thing he could have done a couple years ago. But he didn't do it, so you got to look at what he did. Ruth, would it also help if I put some houndstooth on the screen? Um, Phil. Oh, how you doing, Phil? Um, Dave, yeah, I don't agree with the death penalty because I don't think it's wrong or anything, but because I don't trust the corrupt state to apply it correctly. Um, and I get that and I appreciate that, but if you can't trust the state to do that, can you trust the state to apply any punishment correctly? Can you trust them to properly put people away for life? I mean, if you can't trust them to kill the right guy, can you trust them to convict the right guy, period? And I would argue if you're going to go down that road, I mean, ultimately you have to say, well, no, I can't. Because you can do everything to somebody punishment wise, but just don't kill them. And that somehow makes it okay. I think that turns into a philosophical and moral issue that, do whatever you want to him, just don't kill him. Well, I'd argue if you're kind of going against it, then you're almost against the point of a guy getting a speeding ticket because he might be innocent. And I can't trust the government to do that right either. Um, you're actually an Auburn fan. Okay. Well, okay. I don't know. Isn't it War Eagle or something like that? I think it's what you guys do, War Eagle or whatever. Um, can you trust the state to enforce a speeding ticket? I mean, I think that's where you have to. I'm not saying that's the. I'm not saying that's. I think that's a thought process you have to go down the road of, like, where do you draw the line on what you're allowing the state to do and why? And if it's because you don't trust them, then I don't trust. If I don't trust the cops to get the right guy in a murder case, those same cops are writing speeding tickets, so I don't trust them there. Do you want some death juice or okay. Um Jim, you're saying we are alone in the world with these crazy long sentences. In Europe, they don't send people to prison for anything longer than 10 to 15 years for even for murder. And I think so. Yes, and I think that's one thing where I do think Europe does it right. But then you also look at issues like Anders Breivik where they're like, well, he could theoretically get out of jail anytime soon. After he killed like 80 people. Um But yes, I do think that that's one of the big things U.S. government needs to work. We need to work on across the country is sentencing issue. How long can you actually go to prison for? Um, but that's I don't know if that's ever going to change. I know there's a lot of people pushing and fighting for that, but I have a feeling that's going to be that way for a while, sadly. Yeah, he shot up like a summer camp. I think it's for people of that are Middle Eastern or at least Muslim descent. Hold on, Marco Polo. Yep, I'd rather the state execute folks than to get me for a speeding ticket. Boy, I salty. Ooh, I hope that wasn't a. Oh, hope your speeding ticket wasn't bad. Um, Zero signal. Yes, it's punishment versus rehab, and that's a big thing. Um, uh, what name? And I think that's right. Sometimes people just like you got to turn them off. Um, you had a friend had to put his dog down as a bit the UPS guy. That's sad. Poor puppers. Poor puppers. Poor puppers. That's how it was prior to the 70s. You could get 15 years for murder and be rehabilitated. In some states, yes, but there were still a lot of states that were giving massive sentences. Ohio, for a long time, was brutal on that stuff. They're sentencing. I've seen sentencing forums, and I've heard from old timers, older attorneys talking about how it used to be, like Ohio in the 80s and 90s, and even before that, in the 60s and 70s, was rough. I mean, like Shawshank Redemption. Look how long those guys are spending. All those guys are spending forever in prison. Now, granted, it sounds like we didn't prosecute as many people, but you know, it's been needing an overhaul for a very long time, very, very, very long time. Uh, you saw that the UPS guys put down like, ooh, I don't know if you get permission to do that, I'd be very impressive to see. Um, oh, dog was 16, had stomach cancer. Oh, maybe that was the dog's way of like punching out early. Maybe one of the early exit. Yes. Metro's right. F in the chat. F in the chat, everybody. F in the chat, puppers. Uh, I think you're joking, but I bet that's probably true in Norway. I think I've heard him complaining about some stuff, and I'm like, wait, you get that in prison? But yeah, I think yes, he's complaining about a lot of stuff. Um, do I think the shutdown of asylums versus prisons had an effect? Yes. I mean, because we couldn't institutionalize people. And sadly, there's some people that they're just so mentally and cognitively problematic. We have to warehouse them and we shouldn't release them into society, but they're now released into society and it's causing problems. But I don't know what the best answer is. Yeah, Graham, no, I know you're telling the truth. I just forgot exactly what it was he was bitching about while he was in prison. But yeah, he had a parole hearing and complained about all kinds of stuff. Um, Sarah White was 18 in 1975. She started a fire that killed a few people. She is still incarcerated in Indiana. Well, I hate to say it like this. Sometimes if you do something, you've got to, sometimes you just got to square up for it. Got to get square with the house, and there's a lot of squaring up to do for her. It sounds like. I mean, you flee people and burn them alive. That's pretty hardcore. Um, I was always told it was the government wanting to crack down on organized crime that caused the spike in years. I mean, yes, but the government's been growing and been more, punitive, as time goes on, period in general. I mean, it's not like the federal sentencings have ever gone like, "Oh, we're gonna change our mind. Less sentences for these crimes." No, it's always gone up. So, it's not just the mob, but, the people need to be tough on crime, and, not picking on Biden because he's president, but, like, if you wanna see Biden back in the late '80s and early '90s talking about all the laws he wanted passed, all the crime bills he was trying to push, like, those were big deals back then. He had it, so he's like, I'm putting forward this bill that has all kinds of death penalty eligible offenses. And everybody's like, it failed. And a lot of people are like, have you lost your damn mind? But there are a lot of people who do want an increased law and order presence and keep pushing for it. You burn people alive, you probably deserve the off switch. It was accidental. If you mess up, no, I don't. Yeah, can't do that. If you mess up, you mess up. Um, Well, Sir Kurtz, I feel sentencing should reflect the danger the individual represents to the public. That's part of generally the one of the purposes and principles of sentencing. Um, I feel incarceration is more about protecting the public than punishing the guilty. Well, I mean, there are multiple factors and parts of sentencing that have to be considered. One of them is protecting the public from this person, from future conduct. One of them is properly punishing them and not demeaning the seriousness of the offense. There's multiple factors in a sentencing, and maybe that's something I'll do a video about. Because I mean, uh, here, this is actually a good thing, Kurtz. Here, these are the purposes and principles of sentencing for felony offenses in the state of Ohio. Okay, it's revised code 2929.11. Purposes of felony sentencing. Okay. The overriding purposes of felony sentencing are to protect the public from future crime by the offender and others, punish the offender, promote their effective rehabilitation using the minimum sanctions that the court determines those without imposing an unnecessary burden on governmental resources. Okay. To achieve that purpose, the sentencing court shall consider the need for incapacitating the offender, deterring them and others from the future crime, and rehabilitating the defender and making restitution to the victim of the offense, the public, or both. Um, so I mean, those are already kind of the overriding purposes of sentencing. There's kind of that give or take that's already there. Um, but I'm glad you're thinking about it that way. I mean, I appreciate I appreciate the fact you put in the effort and put in the wording like that because you kind of nailed it. And I mean, I'd say it's kind of neat. You kind of nailed the purposes and principles of sentencing, that tension. There's that balance. And I've had to make those arguments like, judge, if we're trying to, as an overriding purpose is protecting the public, okay, but is the public really a danger anymore? How do we increase his rehabilitation using the least restrictive sanctions? Because that's the big thing. The court has to shape the least restrictive punishment. And sometimes that's where the argument's had. Sometimes it's going to be one of the in part B is the hill I stand on and make a fight. So I did, I really appreciate that comment. Um, can you do a stream that breaks down how gun bills got to be? I mean, like if you're asking like kind of like the history of how things have shook out in America, sure. Like the National Firearms Act, the Gun Control Act, the Firearms Owners Protection Act, assault weapons ban, like how that all came about. Sure, I can do that. Yeah, I'll put that down. Um, I like him less than Tim Pool. And get some guests. Yeah, I will be working on that. I gotta kind of re-engage with some people and get back on Twitter a certain way. I gotta be quiet about that, but I'll have to work on that. But yeah, I would like to have some more guests coming up. Tim Pool, did someone say Civil War? Um, Clinton was bad for criminal sentencing. Well, not necessarily. The 94 crime bill was that was a mean old bitch. So, um, do you think vengeance should be a factor in sentencing? Well, I mean, the victims get a say in sentencing, but deterring future conduct, deterrence, like don't, and you punish them. I mean, part of it is to, you're protecting the offender to the public and you're punishing them. Part of it is punishment. Um, I mean, that's, incapacitating the offender, I would argue, is probably kind of like punishment. Like you did this and you kind of like can't control yourself. Um, yeah, I mean, that's part of it. I don't, not necessarily vengeance, but you have to own up for what you did. If you did something real bad, you got to answer it. Um, answer for it. We need to stop punishing people after they're released if we really don't want them to return to crime just because of a reason to. You should get all your rights back. Yes, Jim, I fully agree. If you've paid your debt to society, you should be back to where you were because otherwise we make these people keep paying forever, and that's not fair either. If it's somebody we can't trust to be outside, then we shouldn't let them out, but that's a separate discussion. No, I fully agree. Fully agree. Um, you may want to avoid DUI guy. Why? Larry's good, and Larry'd be great to talk to. Yeah. Yeah, Brittany, I can work on that. I'll put that on my list. You know what? Heck, I'll do that. Well, actually, I already got that on the list. I already have it on there. Big list of things. Long, long list of things. Um, so I don't know. I mean, unless did something happen with DUI guy I don't know about because I enjoy Larry. Um, oh, there's more drama. I don't give a shit. I'll have on whoever I want. I'm not worried about hurting somebody's feeler bugs. I like DUI guy. So do I. I like Larry. Like listening to him. The issue is, I mean, a lot of these guys are big time, and I gotta, talk to them and see if they'd have me on because there's always, it's always I kind of feel awkward sometimes going to some of the bigger people, especially if they're really big, because they got shit they're trying to do, and part of it is you go on places where you can increase your scope and potential, and reach, and not exactly there, but yeah, I'll be working on that some coming up. Um, so I'm not really in the eye for an eye camp. I mean, it's I mean, yeah, an eye for an eye does not make one blind. An eye for an eye makes two people who are really fucking careful in the future because they both only got one eye. Um, but no, I think from a personal standpoint, like I've said before, there's Sean the attorney, and then there's Sean the guy who sits here in Ohio and drinks beer once in a while. Like, yeah, if you come at me or the people I care about, yeah, I have no, there is no compunction that I don't mind trying to dirt nap you over it. Like you try to hurt somebody in my family. Okay, fine. I'm gonna come at you real fucking heavy. And that's not just a joke about me being fat. If you have to Urban Dictionary that concept. Um, Uh, this weird lawsuit crap ruined everything. I know. And like I got started in, kind of in the middle of it, but that's like my story. I get started in things when they go bad. Um, I think he's on the spectrum. Uh, I think a lot of us are on the spectrum, really, when you think about it. Yeah, I appreciate that, Mookie. I probably will talk to Branka and some other people come in at some point. Um, yeah, I do want to talk to Matt. I have tried to reach out to him, so hopefully I hear back from him. He'd be great to talk to, especially with what they are doing in the key card case. A name is saying an eye for an eye makes the whole world really bad at darts. Yes, 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 it does. Yes. If you only have one eye, guys, I don't know if you know this, vision out of one eye, you basically have no depth. Well, you have really bad depth perception, and I think you can get used to it, but it's bad for a while. My me try like that. Two people are careful. I mean, really, that's the case. If I take your eye out, you're going to be very careful going forward. If you take my eye out, I'm going to be very careful. But I just, I've always been a bit of a smartass like that. When somebody says like there is no I in team, well, there is a me. Um, that's always there. There's also a meat. Oh, Kale, I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you found me on Rackets. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Somebody said get Lady Racket. Nick can't even get her on there. Yeah. Oh, you meant AK Daddy. When you said Daddy, I was like, who do you mean? Because it's like, I'm Daddy. But yeah, no, I'd love to talk to Brandon Herrera. I think it'd be fun. I'll try to, you know what? I'll try to reach out to him. I don't know if that'll work, but hey, why not? Can't hurt. Can't hurt. Oh, our lovable mod is back. Just stopping by to say hello. We love you too, love chat. The thought bots. How dare you talk about my mods that way? My mods are not thoughts. My mods are like the Chads of thoughts. Whatever the versions of a Chad anti-thought would be. They're not thoughts, they're trads. But I love you. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe she doesn't want to. um, yeah, I think that's who we're talking about, Brandon Herrera, when we talked about AK Daddy. Um, have you ever tried a case that got huge mainstream media attention? Uh I mean, I made like the news in Toledo for a little bit on a case I was doing. That's why I said, I talked to you guys about the toe sucker if we get to 15,000 subs. So, yeah, I can talk about the one. If we make it, I will show you the news. I actually downloaded it so it's safe, but I know where to find the news online where I got kind of like my client talked a bunch of shit to me on live TV. So, um, isn't Ian doing a lot of shows right now? Are you talking about Ian McCullum from like Forgotten Weapons? He's been on a bunch of shit. Yeah, I don't think he'd ever come on here. Uh, yeah, Kicker Anthem. That'd be okay. That would be awesome. But I think he'd be like, well, he's not a legal guy. But yeah, that would shit. I'd rather go shoot with Mike than talk to him. That'd be more fun with Grand Thumb. Um, ooh, that'd be interesting. One of the Slender Man stabbers is getting petitioning for release from mental hospital. Good luck. I'm not sure you're gonna get that one. Um, Stream cuck Nick, it would be epic. Um, is he on right now? Hold on. Is he even on? No, I don't think he's on tonight. Who's on? Keeping It Criminals on. Oh, Chili Dildo Man Chili was on recently. Was Joe on? I don't know. I don't see it. Oh, he just finished up. Wow, I outlasted Joe. That's right, Joe. You can't hang. Um, can you make a chart for rewards for subs? We should have more goals. Um, oh, okay. We're talking about Ian McCullum or Ian Runkle. I've actually been in talking a lot with Runkle. I know him from a different Discord that we're both a part of, and yeah, we're trying to work out something where he can come on here and talk. I think it'd actually be a lot of fun talking about Canadian stuff. I really think from their perspective. Um, but Sue, do you want me to do this like I'm on a Twitch where it's like how many likes to get something or what? I'm confused. Is that we're about to finish up, but I'm kind of want to hear what you're getting at there. Um all right, see you, good old boy. Have a nice night. Um yeah, no, Brandon Herrera did want to go to law school. I remember that. I've heard him talk about that, which I think is interesting. Um yeah, I need to I do, I some of those guys I'd like to get in touch with. Ghost Guns is another one I want to get in touch with. There's a lot of people I like to get in touch with, especially on Goon Twitter. So I'm gonna be working on that with with my personal account. With my personal account. So I gotta work on that. Um Miss Dinga Dinga. Oh, well, thanks for stopping by. Um no DB. I mean, you do what you gotta do there, man. I'm just gonna leave that one alone. I'm not clicking on it. Um so yeah, for 15K, I'll get into the whole toe sucker story, what I'm allowed to disclose. 20K's feet pics. Yeah, we might do some feet pics. Um, I was hoping your smooth and dulcet tones could keep me going while I draft pleadings. I hope they do. Is this helping? Hayden, shuffle those papers. That's right. Hit that space bar. I'll get that pleading right there, just like that. Why did Twitter give you the boot? Because I got a big wiener. That's why they found out. I said something apparently hurt someone's feelings. That was hateful conduct. Um, oh, somebody actually had sent me an email. They're asking me what this thing is. This actually fits over my camera. I just fit it over the top. It's got a cutout in the back for the cord. I just put that over the top of my camera, so there's no accidental dark side fill type situations that occur. Um, well, no, Sue. I guess I meant like when you're saying like a chart for subs. Oh, send me an email what you're talking about because I'm confused. Um, I hope you make sure you don't get the flaming hot Cheetos. That'll be bad. Um, no, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, DB. I was just kind of joking along with you a little there. Um, yeah, out there hurting fifis. Hey, that's what I do. I crushing somebody's feeler bugs. No glowy spies. Yeah, I'll just have to make sure I do it, or if I do what Nick does, don't bring out a stabbing on because then we'll get in trouble. I'll get suspended for 7 days. Um, a chart of what a Dom expects from their sub. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to tell you guys what I expect from you then. This will be a really awkward stream after that. My fifis are exquisite. "10 days. is something happening in 10 days? Like, did you ship me something in the mail for 10 days? It's got a timer going down on it. Maybe I missed that earlier. Sorry, Bren. Who is most likely to be a glowing in the lawyers that do YouTube group? Probably Legal Eagle, if I had to guess. I mean, that's who I would argue. If I had to guess, that's who I would pick. And yeah, I know people are gonna get mad. See, that's not fair. That's not nice. But yeah. Oh yeah, Nick. Yeah, I'm sorry, Brent. Yes, 10 days. Yes, and I will say, yes, welcome back, Nick. Get your ass back to grifting. Yes, that was a ridiculous thing there, and that was YouTube definitely fucking with him. I think things like this are only helping to push people to Odyssey and Rumble. And in fact, if you look me up on Odyssey and Rumble, I'm there on both. And the neat thing is, this stuff all gets uploaded onto Odyssey and Rumble. So, if you can't find it here, something ever happens to me, guys, I am on Rumble. Something ever happens to me, you can try to find me on Odyssey. If something does happen to me, I'll try to get word out however I can. Yes, it was a very long week for Nick. Yes. Nick's ban was for 10, not 7. I know. I'm just sorry when we're talking and you guys respond and I'm trying to catch up, it throws me off a little. Yes, Kurt did work for the feds, but I don't think that makes him a glowy. No, I did not have a chance to I did not have the chance to watch Nick. I'm probably going to do that tomorrow while I'm got to draft I got to draft the habeas corpus petition tomorrow and a couple other things put together. So I got a lot of screen time tomorrow, so I'll be busy. So, Ravenhood saying yes on Odyssey. Oh, if you found me there, cool. Thank you. The only thing that sucks about Odyssey is they don't automatically upload the YouTubes that go over 2 hours. So I don't know how to get this on there. Thank you, Panzer Dude. Yes, KL, we are done. It's 12:17. I got to be up in the morning. So that's it for tonight, guys. I appreciate everything. I appreciate everything from everybody. Everybody's being here, whatever you guys have been doing. Okay, hold on. They call me Rose. You post your membership link in the chat or the video. Maybe it's kind of like a boomer moment because I'm not sure what. It's gonna be me being a little retarded because I'm not 100% sure how to do that. Hold on here. Yeah, I don't know. Rose, let me work on that. I'll have to figure that out for the next time. Have your mods post your links. Okay, I will work on that. We'll work on that, but the mods are all asleep. So that's it for tonight, guys. I will somebody's asking will there be surprise streams this weekend? Yeah, there'll probably be 1 or 2. Probably Friday night. So in the meantime, what's the next one I'm going to cover? Probably going to be a Dumpster Bros coming up. Although somebody sent me this civil trial. A guy named Adam sent me a civil trial about a dog that got shot, and there was a civil trial over the dog. And I think we might watch that just because it's like a 1-day trial, and I think that'll be interesting to watch. But yeah, we'll be getting ready for the Dumpster Bros coming up. And yeah, that's it for tonight, guys. So everybody have a great weekend, and remember, till next time, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty.